will be Chris sharing. Yeah, Chris will be sharing the screen, and I will start doing the talk, and he will jump over.
Okay, over to you.
Okay, then perfect. Yeah, thank you, everybody, and thank you, Adam, for the invitation. So I'm really pleased to be here tonight. So I'm Thomas, and with my colleague Chris, we're part of the nonprofit organization Climate Connect. So as already mentioned, we are actually located in Germany. So we don't yet have any direct project happening in Scotland, but what we do over there in Germany is a bit similar to the Nescan hub, where we are being implementing in multiple cities in Germany, where there we work on initiating citizens' climate projects and spreading good local concepts between the different locations whereas we're being located. One of the reasons and why we're happy to be here tonight is because throughout the different projects and organizations we work with, over the last couple of years, we've been working a lot with different organizations and projects related to energy and especially citizen energy. So we are really happy to be here tonight to then learn a bit more about like you and how it's happening in Scotland, because from what I see, what I heard, there's like a couple of, I assume, very, very interesting things happening. So to hear about that, and then so we can just take like a few points to also try to bring back to Germany and just to share a bit this knowledge and to start creating a bridge towards our two countries and cities working together. And on the other hand, I will also pass the word to Chris, which will explain you and show you a bit around what are the different also projects that Chris helps starting, initiating, and working with in Germany. So maybe this time you could also be the one who could find a bit of inspiration, maybe also find some similarities between the different projects and problematics that you have been facing throughout the different course of your project. So maybe we can also, on that regard, then create also a bit of an exchange around that. And to ease that type of collaboration, we also created like a tool that we also try to present you briefly to see how that could be possible to also create a strong and efficient collaboration between Scotland and Germany. Do you want to quickly take over?
Yeah, thanks, Thomas. Also, thank you so much for allowing us to speak here. Really excited about it. And yeah, since Thomas already made a bit the introduction, I will just jump right into what we are currently doing in Germany. So we have a network of currently 5 climate hubs where we have been initiating projects and where we always have so it's always a digital platform where people share their projects, events, ideas, and then they can find people who want to join, and also for people who are interested in getting active, they have one starting point to get active for climate action. And then we always have 1 or 2 local networkers who are helping to initiate projects, helping along the way with bring the right people together to make things happen. And yeah, this concept has been working better and better. Last year, we had 3 climate hubs that were already there for the whole year. 2 started a bit later, and in those 3 hubs we initiated, in projects that we initiated, we had over 12,000 volunteer hours that were done there. So we were quite happy about that. And one big topic that came up actually in 2023 for us was energy cooperatives and citizen energy. So maybe to introduce that topic, I would go to my hometown, actually, where I live, which is Freising. It's a small town, 50,000 people, just north of Munich. And there they actually have a really impactful energy cooperative, which inspired us to spread the concept a bit more into cities where we don't have one yet. So I'm not sure if the concept works the exact same in Scotland, so I'm just quickly going to explain how a cooperative, like how this cooperative works also legally. So it's sort of a mix between an association and a company. So you can join, become part of the cooperative, get a certain amount of shares. And no matter whether you have like 50,000 euros in shares or 100 euros in shares, you have 1 vote. So 1 person, 1 vote. It's quite democratic, and allows people to own their own wind turbines, solar parks, etc., right in front of their door, rather than like one big company having a coal plant, and you all have to buy from that company. You locally own your own energy, and that's really great. So the cooperative in Freising has over 1,800 members, and what's cool is that there it's possible to really be active in many fields. For example, it has a wind turbine, it's planning multiple further wind turbines, lots of solar parks, lots of roof solar, but it's also the biggest provider of EV charging stations in the region, and it's also an energy provider. So you can, I think there's 1,000 people who get their energy directly from the cooperative. So like a significant part of the energy transition in the region here is done by the energy cooperative. And one cool thing that, just to a bit paint the picture, that I heard from one of the people who leads this cooperative was like when there's a new wind turbine being planned in a village here, then usually like the people that approach them, or investors that approach them that would like to build these wind turbines, are usually like foreign investment funds like from China or Qatar, and then the local energy cooperative. And then you can assume that they will probably go with their own citizens locally. And I think that's really cool to have that option and have this strong cooperative. So to zoom out a bit, all over Germany, there is currently 200,000 Germans that are part of an energy cooperative, which I think is quite a lot. There's some really, really big co-ops that play a big role in shaping the energy transition, that also own part of the grid. But most of the, so to go a bit into like the problematics or the current state of energy cooperatives, so in citizen-owned energy in Germany, not sure if it's the same in Scotland, excited to hear about that, is that like most of the cooperatives are really, really small and volunteer run. So they may have, for example, 2 or 3 rooftop solar projects, but just the amount of work that you need to do for the administration to keep those going already takes up all the volunteer time that they have, and therefore they're not accepting new members, they're not doing new projects, and not having any more impact on the energy transition. And also one big thing is that a lot of them started like 10, 20 years ago, and the people that started it are still there, but there's not too many new ones coming in. So it's really like all the people are heavily overrepresented, and they're having a bit trouble with getting new people often. Yes, Stephen, just to directly answer this question. So there's 1,000 people, 1,000 households who get there, for whom the cooperative is the energy provider. And that doesn't mean that all the energy comes directly from the cooperative, but rather they also, of course, buy some on the energy market. It's just like a normal energy provider would. And then the biggest problem, what a bit inspired us to take on this topic, is I think it's so cool to locally own your own energy. It's like this is how it should be done. Like the whole energy, all of energy should be like, or at least all of renewable energy should be in the hands of the citizens, in my opinion. But most people in Germany, even though there's a lot of energy cooperatives, don't even know what that is or have never heard of the concept. So especially in the younger generation, so when I talk to my friends and explain them the concept, they are like, wow, that's super cool. Why did I never hear about this? But we've had this for like decades. And I think this is a big problem, that it's often like really good concepts, but not being spread to the public so much. So there's quite a few bigger cities that do not have a cooperative, and that's where we sort of try to come in and help spread the idea and build a bit of a movement. So, for example, in the city of Potsdam, that's right next to Berlin, they didn't have an active energy cooperative. So we have a climate hub there. So we got into a lot of talks. The local energy provider was actually really excited about our idea to start one, because they said that they actually wanted to involve citizens through a cooperative, but they couldn't find people who would put the time to actually create one. And our idea is always to not do the work ourselves, but because we are not experts in the field, but to just get the right people together. And that worked really well here. So we did a kickoff workshop with over 80 attendants. And so that was roughly a year ago. And it was so cool because it was such a diverse group of people, and almost every one of them had thought in some way it would be pretty cool to have an energy cooperative here in Potsdam. But they all felt quite alone and didn't really feel like they have the power to do that. And now they were all in one room, and we were directly making some planning, and there was a really great energy to get started. And now 1 year later, the founding process is almost finished. They got basically all the boxes checked. They're just waiting for some legal stuff at the moment, and they are ready to go and do their first few projects. So they will do both their own projects. We'll start with some just normal rooftop solar, but also will get the opportunity if they want to, profit from the local energy providers project. So, and this is also really helpful for the city because obviously then all the money that the citizens invest themselves, the city doesn't have to invest. So this actually is vital for the energy transition goals to be met in Potsdam. And sort of 3 learnings that we got from this was just really, if you want to start an energy cooperative, or for us also for other cities, just start. If you get the right people together, there a lot of stuff can happen quite quickly. Keep everybody involved. One problem that we had in Potsdam was that for certain amounts of time, there were really specific topics, really deep dives into the business plan of which projects have to be calculated in which way. And the team only focused on that, and that actually caused some people to drop out because they didn't feel that they had the competences to help there. So now they're not part of the team anymore. But now again, as they are approaching the end of the founding process, now they could be helpful again in other fields. But we just focus too hard on one super small topic, and that caused some people to feel like they cannot contribute because not everybody has to be an expert in the same field. It's good to have a diverse group of people. Maybe also to a bit paint the picture of how we are involved in there, because as I said, we don't do the founding process ourselves. So we do the kickoff event, and then our local networker comes to all the follow-up meetings, helps them organize, helps sort of network with the right people in the city. But all the work has been done by the volunteers themselves that came together and are now forming this cooperative. And what's also quite important, keep in touch with the public, because if nobody knows about the good work or the good concept, then it's not going to create a movement. And so that's what we've tried to do as well, and help a bit with the press locally in Potsdam. And now we transfer this to another city, which is in northern Bavaria. We didn't even do a kickoff workshop yet, but we already have a core team of 15 people because we sort of just dropped the idea at a different event, and then suddenly the word sort of spread, and we had 15 people sitting in a call planning the next steps of how to found a cooperative in Würzburg. And there we could invite the people from Potsdam and could keep it going. So that was really nice. And overall, I really think it would be important to form a movement. We are focused on Germany right now, but overall, the renewable energy locally should be citizen-owned. And this will just make the whole process much faster because there will be more acceptance for projects. There will be more investment from people, of course. And so we're really happy to help spread the idea in Germany. And just gonna pass back to Thomas about also a bit international collaboration.
Thanks, Chris. What basically and briefly what we try to just a bit highlight with this presentation is just how massive can be the potential of impact through energy transition just already within one city by putting people collaborating together, people who wanted to do something but couldn't find the right person. And then when you just put them together, then there's suddenly a really huge potential of impact that can be happening in only just one city. And but through collaboration and just spreading good concepts and exchange and collaboration, we can now have like initiate something in a use in another city. So now it's no longer people collaborating together with one city, but it's like two cities collaborating together. And as the climate crisis is global, it also requires us to work and collaborate together globally to solve it. So that's also one of the reasons why we would like also to see how we could also stress out collaborations between the good things that have been happening in Germany and also all the good things that are happening in Scotland to try to connect a bridge for exchanges and collaborations to be happening. And so if you are interested into either some of the projects we just presented it, or if you want to also look at some others, either energy related projects or even like more like general climate related topics, we would just recommend you to go and visit on the platform that we have been listed. So it's like the Climate Hubs platform, where you can see all a bunch of different projects. Then you can also contact some of the representative of each of the projects and the organization that are in here. And then you can directly connect and start to create collaborations around that. So yeah, I hope that was clear for now, and we are really looking forward to see what's in which regards and which way we could be working together to solve the climate crisis and increase the energy transition. Thank you.